This is Bob Pigue of Gemini Systems. Gemini Systems is a 5-star IBM Premier Business Partner based in New York City, and I'm head of Gemini's Business Process Design and Automation Practice. This presentation is based on one that I gave at IBM's Impact Comes to You conference held in New York City in September 2010, and in it I discussed two related ideas which we've broken up into two videos. In part one, I discuss a unique structured methodology to design and redesign business processes using something called the Commitment Management Protocol. And in part two, we demonstrate business process automation software from IBM known as WebSphere Lombardi Edition. The combination of these two ideas can help organizations achieve business transformation through dramatically improved and managed business processes. Part 2 of Gemini's presentation on business process design and automation features a demonstration of a simple business process automated using WebSphere Lombardi Edition. The process that we'll demonstrate is the Acme product reselling process. The process begins at the parent interaction, W01, request a product. In the preparation phase, the customer makes the initial product request to the Acme sales rep by phone or by email. In the negotiation phase, the customer and the Acme sales rep need to agree on the condition of satisfaction, which in this case is the price of the product. So to do this, the Acme sales rep will in turn make a request to Acme Sales Operations, W02. This request will be for a quote on the desired product, and Acme Sales Operations will in turn make a request to an external distributor for the quotation. When both child interactions have been completed, we return to the parent. The Acme sales rep will deliver to the customer the product quote, and if the customer agrees to the quote, meaning there is agreement on the conditions of satisfaction, they will send a purchase order to the Acme sales rep. In the performance phase, the Acme sales rep arranges for delivery of the product to the customer, and finally in the acceptance phase, the customer signifies their acceptance of the product by remitting payment to Acme. In order to facilitate the transition from the Commitment Management Protocol model to Lombardi, we use another IBM software product called Blueprint, which is a cloud-based collaborative process modeling tool and repository. The product reselling process is converted to Blueprint and from there imported to Lombardi to be automated. For the purposes of this demonstration, we'll begin the Lombardi application at the W02 child interaction. The Acme sales rep has already received a request from the customer, let's say over the phone, for a product to be quoted and delivered. We'll start the product reselling process with the Acme sales rep logging into the process portal and creating a new instance of the process. The new instance appears in the sales rep's inbox, in this case as transaction number 808. In the first activity, the sales rep enters customer information and product information. Many of the input fields you see in this interface, or coach, may be connected to back-end databases or web services to pull information such as accounts, contacts, and products from existing enterprise systems. When the form is complete, the sales rep will submit the request to Acme Sales Operations for a quotation. The next step in our process involves the child interaction W03, where Acme Sales Operations will request a quote from the distributor. Sales Operations logs in and opens the latest transaction to appear in his inbox. That's transaction number 808, if you remember from earlier. Sales Operations reviews the information in the request from the sales rep and then decides which distributor to request a quote from. You might imagine business rules in the system to check existing quantities on hand from different distributor systems and only allow the selection of those distributors who have the product in stock. Sales Operations then adds their comments to the request and sends it to the distributor. We're now in the performance phase of W03, where the distributor will provide Acme Sales Operations with a product quote. Imagine, if you will, that the distributor has an interface into this system provided via a secure extranet and sees the latest entry in his inbox. The distributor opens the request, reviews it, then adds a value for the quoted amount and any additional comments before returning the transaction back to Acme Sales Operations, indicating the request is completed. After completing the interaction between Acme Sales Operations and the distributor, we now return to the performance phase of W02 between the Acme Sales Rep and Acme Sales Operations. Acme Sales Operations now reviews the quote received from the distributor and determines how to proceed. If the distributor's quote is not acceptable, he can click on the Request New Distributor Quote button to route the request back to the distributor. When the quote is agreed to by Sales Operations, he notifies the Acme Sales Rep, who will in turn present the final quote to the original customer. At any time during the life of the process, a user can click on the transaction in the inbox to view the entire history of the transaction, including each step in the process, who completed each step, who was responsible for a pending step, when the step was due, how long the step took to complete, and when it was actually completed. Users can also view process metrics by looking at summary statistics for all instances of a process. Processes can then be altered or redesigned based on these statistics, such as adding resources to a role that might be causing a process bottleneck, or changing authorization or approval requirements based on revised dollar figures. These metrics can be used as input for continuous process improvement. This concludes our presentation on the Commitment Management Protocol and the demonstration of IBM's Process Automation and Management Software, WebSphere Lombardi Edition. They represent two complementary opportunities for achieving business transformation through process improvement in your organization. For more information, please contact a Gemini Systems sales representative. Thank you.